TYTSports, Jason Rubin, Francis Maxwell's over there. We got a great question via the 5 questions in 5 minutes, but we didn't get enough of your questions. We need more. We need more. But one that I find so intriguing that I have to ask Francis to answer for us. Mr. Kid Columbia, thank you again. I know you've been tweeting a lot of your questions. Keep doing it. Since today, technically yesterday, is the NFL season opener, which soccer players could make an NFL roster?
I was actually thinking about this question. It's something I've been asked before. There are a few that I think could definitely, depends on what the position. Obviously, for a wide receiver position, you look for someone with a lot of speed and size. You never know. In height, Ronaldo is 6'2", I think. The fastest footballer in the world according to his results that they tested him. I think, depending on how his hands are, he could definitely be a handful with his speed. But I know one that people might, I don't know if you know the game well enough, but I'm sure you do. Mika Richards, who plays for Manchester City. He's an absolute beast. I think maybe a running back, because he definitely covers players well in the game. He doesn't play as much for Manchester City because of his technical ability with his feet, but he's very strong, very fast. And he's a beast on the field. So I definitely think he could go in there. And you never know, maybe Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He can do everything. He's 6'4", his height, his ability. He just seems to do anything he can put his mind to. He's good at kung fu kicks, which is weird in football, but he has got that strength and the speed as well. Perhaps another receiver. And for an offensive lineman, Francis Maxwell, I think he could definitely hold that line well. He's got the strength in his legs to hold it. No, I'm only joking. But there's tons of footballs out there.
Going off Zlatan Ibrahimovic, that's one of the two players I was absolutely going to mention that maybe could make an NFL roster just because you said he's 6'4". He's physically big enough to play in the NFL, and he's just the raw talent, natural talent that he has. The other player I think you're forgetting who probably could play tight end or linebacker is Manuel Neuer, because he's, 6'5"?
Manuel Neuer is huge.
And as a goalkeeper, he's good with his hands. He can catch.
I actually like
so a lot of the goalkeepers might probably make maybe the chance of making an NFL roster just because they're using their hands a lot more than their legs. The other, any player who's good defensively and fast, maybe defensive backs, the corners, the safeties. You know, Richard Sherman is a big guy, but he's not Calvin Johnson. He's not 6'6" or 6'5", you know, with like a vertical that's insane. Yeah. He's just fast and knows how to stay on the receivers. Obviously, yesterday there was no targets thrown at him.
So, and then the final person who I'm going to bring in is everyone in England will know, who's been nicknamed The Beast, and probably he's been called the buffest soccer player in the world. 16 stone, which I don't know how to compare that to pounds at the moment, but he's known to bench press 180 kilograms. His name is Adebayo Akinfenwa, who plays for Northampton, and check some of these images out. The guy is humongous. He just, he seems to be bullying players. When you see him on the field, it just looks sort of out of place. And when you see him out there, for me as a defender, not exactly the biggest guy, I used to be able to read the game and come up against players that I would, much bigger than me, but I'd be able to read them. With this guy, I probably just wouldn't even try. He would truck me over in a second, and I think he's your best bet at making his transition from football to football. So we'll see how that happens. Thanks again for your questions. Make sure to stay tuned to TYT Sports, bring you more of the response to your great tweets. Thank you.